Major new testimony in the fraud trial of two former top JEA executives. One witness said today former CEO Aaron Zahn told him he would make $40 million if JEA were sold, and that Zahn had then Mayor Lenny Curry's support to do that. Much more is unraveling in court about what's been described as the biggest potential fraud against the city in Jacksonville's history. Federal prosecutors say Zahn and former Chief Financial Officer Ryan Wanamaker devised the scheme that would enable them to get very rich if the sale happened. Both could spend 25 years in prison if found guilty. News4Jax reporter Jim Pickett has been in court from the start.
The fact that the jury heard today that Zahn could have made $40 million from the sale of JEA, that was a big surprise, and the fact that that carried on in testimony. Here's what happened. Aaron Zahn's old college roommate from Yale testified today about his role in the potential sale. As an attorney for a firm handling the deal, Stephen Amdur told the court Zahn reached out to him by phone and suggested the Pillsbury law firm in New York, where Amdur worked, should get involved in the potential sale. Amdur, when questioned, said Zahn told him he had the support of then Mayor Lenny Curry and could make $40 million if JEA was sold. I tried talking to Amdur as he left the courtroom today.
Were you surprised your old college roommate would say he's going to get $40 million from the city?
In cross-examination, Amdur said he was not told by Zahn to keep quiet, but he said he would not go tell others. He did talk to colleagues and came to the conclusion that he didn't think it would be illegal. Mayor Curry has stated in the past that did not happen, and a spokesperson for him today reiterated that. In other action today, Jason Gabriel, who's the city's top lawyer when the bonus plan surfaced 5 years ago, finished up his testimony, saying the way the plan was proposed by JEA executives, he had no idea that there was a chance these executives and even a member of his staff could walk away with millions. In court today, he said he had arguments and cursing matches with Aaron Zahn when he questioned Zahn about the bonus plan. Gabriel said he felt deceived and duped. When he left court today, he didn't have much to say.
Reaction, what do you think of this whole thing?
Here's the only thing I'm going to say. My dad always said, tell the truth. I testified, I told the truth. And this is my dad's tie.
Former City Council President and attorney Kevin Hyde also took the stand today. His firm represented JEA when the proposed sale was being discussed. Portions of a JEA meeting were shown where Hyde was explaining the plan and how companies could bid on JEA and why they had to develop what is called the cone of silence, where the deals could not be discussed in public until a decision has been made. In court, he said his firm had no idea the bonus plan would pay out so much. In cross-examination, Zahn's attorney said that Hyde's firm, well, they basically did know because one employee was questioning those payouts, but it was no local station.